Okay, so to get started here, we want to refer back to our directions, and we all pretty much always want to start with the post that's on the stairs. That will start the where we'll string the cables from, and so everything stays in line. So code says that I want my handrail 34 inches, between 34 and 38 inches from this point plumb up is where the top of my handrail, when it's finished, has to be. So what I normally do is figure out where my 34 inches is coming across the plane of my stairs. So here I just attached a piece of 1x material to come up here. I've plumbed it. You always want to make sure you plumb that both directions, get it as close as you can, and then make sure you put your piece of 1x material, and you can use any kind, 2x material, whatever you have laying around, at 34 inches, so it planes at 34 inches from the nose of these stairs to that in a plumb plane. It needs to be 34 inches, and if you start like that, you add a couple inches onto it, you're at 36, you're well within what code is, the International Building Code is. But you always want to check at your local area what they say is code, because that can be dictated by the local building officials. So I always try to get my handrails in what the code says it needs to be, and so that's kind of the place to start. So here I just put 2 of these upright at the top nose and at the bottom nose, and so I know that I want my post to basically plane with this area at 34, which is the minimum, and then by the time I put my top cap on, I'll be at about 36, so it'll be just right. And then that'll come up and plane in for your balcony here also. So to do that, we've already figured out that we need to start with this stair starter post. And this has got the face mount on it. And you can see that this face mount mounts up against your stair stringer, and it comes out about 1/4 inch to the post. So when we go down here, if we move this over right to there, and it's plumb, I've already done this so I know it. So it's pretty close to where we need to be. So a lot of stairs will have a little bit of overhang here. So what I want to do is I want to cut a notch in so it'll allow this post to inset and this bracket to be flush onto here. So what I normally do is just take a pencil and get my post into position where I want it to be, right in there. So then I just mark on both sides like that. And so these posts are 1/2 inch wide, and so I need to notch into this and stay 1/4 inch off of this surface, and that way my plate will bolt right up next to it. So to do that, the way I do it, and there's always a lot of ways of doing something, but this is just the way I do it. A little tri-square works great. You can take and put it up against your stair stringer and slide it up to there, tighten it up. So I have about a 1/2 inch overhang here, and I want to leave 1/4 inch there, so I subtract 1/4 inch. So I just need to go in about 1/4 inch. So just set your speed square here. I have my 2 notches here, or my 2 marks. Clean those up a little bit, transfer them up to here. And then I just do my 1/4 inch, mark it there. And that gives me a good marking. And now I can just take like a jigsaw works good. There's a lot of ways you can cut that notch in there. I have a jigsaw here, so I'll just do it with the jigsaw and cut that notch. Okay, I have my 1/2 inch groove cut here, leaving 1/4 inch for the plate underneath here from here to that point. So I got that cut. So let's grab our post, our stair starting post, and I just use some sheetrock screws to temporary this post into place so that we can move it if we need to a little bit, or to adjust it. And we always want to plumb everything. So I just go ahead and get my level in there, and my screw gun, screw ready. So my placement, I figured out, I want right there and bring it to the top as close as I can. So I'll put one screw into it. Just to hold it into place. And then we can get it plumbed this way, like that. I'll go ahead and put a screw in diagonally across from that one. Once I got it plumbed into place. Alright. Okay, so we got it plumbed this direction. We also want to make sure we plumb it this direction. And sometimes your stair stringers here won't be completely straight, so when you tighten that on, it makes that a little bit out of plumb. And if it is, this is pretty plumb on this, of course, this is just a display. But if it isn't plumb, you can go ahead and just take a wood shim. A wood builder shim, or possibly a composite ones work a little bit better than just the old wood ones because they are a little more consistent. But you can always loosen this and slide it under this plate to move it this way or that way. So you can plumb them up this way. This is pretty plumb, so I don't need to do that. But we want to try to get this post, even though it's temporary, as plumb in both directions as we can. That helps us down the line. So that's how we mount that post. And then we'll move on up to the stair landing post right here, and that'll be our next post. So let me get that one and we'll start on that.